Good Sunday morning, ChatCom. It is time to get up and at 'em. We've got a full day of video church in front of us, so remember our schedule today. Of course, this is ChatCom Today, premiering at 5 a.m. And then at 10:45 today, we have ChatCom announcements. And then the morning worship service at 11:30, and then service tonight at 7 o'clock. So I hope that you can join us. I'm going to read a scripture today. And again, I am building up toward the scripture that I'm going to use, the text that I'm going to use in the message this morning. And today I'm reading from Romans chapter 14, verses 19 through 23. Romans 14, verses 19 through 23. And this is what Paul the Apostle writes to the church at Rome. He says, "Let us therefore make every effort to do what leads to peace and to mutual edification. Do not destroy the work of God for the sake of food. All food is clean, but it is wrong for a person to eat anything that causes someone else to stumble. It is better not to eat meat or drink wine or do anything else that will cause your brother or sister to fall. So whatever you believe about these things, keep between yourself and God. Blessed is the one who does not condemn himself by what he approves. But whoever has doubts is condemned if they eat, because their eating is not from faith, and everything that does not come from faith is sin." Well, as you can imagine, there's a big backstory behind this, and hopefully I have sort of talked about it in the last 2 days. But here are the big takeaways from this particular scripture this morning. Number one, you and I have got to be very careful of our words. Sometimes it is so easy to have a little bit of prayer and a whole lot of talking, a little bit of meditation and a whole lot of discussion and elaboration. In other words, we just love to talk. And sometimes our talking to other people and at other people is disproportionate to the amount of prayer that we put in, because only praying in the presence of God can soften us to the place that we could be sensitive to others' needs, and that's what qualifies us to preach. When we talk to one another or teach or testify, it's very important that we always do it in the right spirit. I've known a lot of people that like to tell me that they just go out and tell it like it is. Well, you tell it like it is in your own head, but because you don't live in the minds of your hearers, you still have a responsibility for the impact that your words say. And so what Paul the Apostle is telling this church here today is, okay, all this other stuff, the eating, the drinking, or the non-essential doctrine, the non-essential teaching that sometimes we act like is so important. We want people to agree with our this and agree with our that. Why don't you just relax on all of that stuff? Be aware that the words that you say and the spirit that you say them in have the means to destroy someone else, someone who doesn't have the same background as you. There are a lot of things that I could get on air or get up in church and talk about, but they're not essential. They're not inside the world of Scripture. And so why am I going to go there and take the opportunity to ostracize someone who's going to go, well, if that's what you've got to believe to be a Christian, or if that's the opinion you've got to have to be a follower of Christ, count me out. I just don't think I could ever do that. No, let's not do that. Instead, let's focus like a laser beam on what is essential to living for God when we talk to other people. There are certain things, Paul says, that you and I've got to keep between ourselves and God, and that keeping is very powerful. You and I can work out things in the conference of our own mind without getting out and just openly speculating before someone else, contradicting ourselves, just running on and on and on, and leaving others confused about what we're actually saying. Anyone who teaches or preaches without understanding their ability to harm others should just sit down until they do. In other words, until we understand the possibility that our words could really harm someone, we just need to sit down until we do get it. What's so important is not only that we feel that we be approved by the unction that comes from God, but also that we're touched by the feelings and the infirmities of those around us. That is the people that listen to us. So when we talk to other believers, when we talk to other Christians, let's remember we're not only responsible for what we say, but for what they hear and the spirit that they hear it in. Hey, I'm so glad that you came by today. This is going to be a great day, and I'll see you in just a few minutes, 10:45, for our morning announcements. God bless.